Let me get it going.
When you're ready, tell me.
Dokey.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Is there anything to add? Okay. Oh, just,
Equipment purchase. Could I
Yeah.
add that to the agenda?
under
New business.
new business,
Yeah.
number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else? That's it? Okay, the agenda will stand as read. Approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Financial report.
Our beginning cash balance is $1,461,480.89. Our deposits are normal. Our total deposits were $687,053.64. Our charges are normal as well for $560,306.52. Our ending cash balance is $1,588,228.01.
Mm-hmm. Ending cash balance. All right. Fine. Everybody. Accounts payable.
Can I ask a question
I'm sure you do.
about the Michigan cat one? Does that mean we got our grader back?
No, we don't have it back yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I believe that's gonna be reimbursed through the insurance.
That should be-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the
That's
insurance.
what the reimbursement.
Yes.
Okay. I just seen that and I thought, well, maybe we got it back. So,
No.
I believe we have to pay it up front. I think.
okay.
Reimbursed
So I'm assuming
Then we get reimbursed.
for the rental.
Yeah.
for the rental rate from the gentleman's
Car insurance.
car insurance, yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming probably one of the larger parts of it was the rental.
Yeah.
And then we must have had a repair to one of our other graders.
All right. You see, we got that gravel on East Long Lake and Baldwin. Argosel, $43,000.
Mm-hmm.
That wraps that up then now.
East Long Lake and Ball. Are you talking about?
Ridge.
Ridge Road.
Oh, okay.
But we'll bill for that project.
Yeah,
So.
our percent, we just paid
Mm-hmm.
our percentage, yeah. Okay, that's good. Surrey Township, Maple Grove, Maple Grove, what did we do?
We're gonna do a road repair there. The pavement's failing there.
Yeah.
So I ordered some materials for that, and probably close it next week. Start working on it.
That wasn't a culvert thing, that's on the.
No, it's a slope failure.
Okay, I think you mentioned that last time, thank you. All right.
Well, I'll make a motion, we pay the bills if nobody else has any other questions.
I'll second.
Okay, we'll pay the bills. Do you have any public comment? Do you have any comment?
Sure. Just want to let everybody know that we're slowly getting back up and running, that I have the ability to get out and start doing some more weight enforcement. Just a couple weeks ago, I was able to get out, stopped a couple different vehicles. And not only are we, you as the board and the sheriff's office able to stop these vehicles for just being overweight, we're starting to see a lot of big safety violations. Just last week, we put one out of service. He had 13 different violations, safety violations, and 7 of them were all violations that put him out of service. So you're looking at like 152,000 pound vehicle driving down the roadway. And we just stopped him yesterday and found out that same vehicle that we had just stopped that he was supposed to get fixed, no brakes whatsoever on his trailer.
Oh my God, is that right?
So, like myself and the motor carrier are able to get together, and we're having a pretty good working relationship together for me to get him over there and do some more inspections, more thorough inspections for the safety aspect for the community, as well as protecting the roads. I haven't been able to update the book that we have lately of some of the overweight violations, so I printed some of them off, and these are just some of the examples of the vehicles that are being stopped and the weights that we're finding. I mean, when you're looking at some of these that are 12,300 pounds over on their axle,
Yeah.
that's a heavy vehicle moving down the roadway, once again bouncing up and down on the roads.
This is an anomaly though. How can it be a logging truck was in violation?
Believe it or not, it's unfortunately for the log trucks, it's the design of the vehicle. Because the vehicle's crane on the back,
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things that we see is because that crane is so heavy, it sits back so far,
Yeah.
it puts most of the weight on the drives. And if they don't have their drop axles down and in working order, and they stack it too high, they automatically they just all of a sudden are way overweight. And unfortunately for the log trucks, they're the biggest, I'd say the easiest target, unfortunately, because their load is open to the public to see.
Right.
And just by looking at it, as soon as they drive by, I mean, they laugh at the sheriff's office because I'll be doing paperwork and I can hear them coming down the road. All I do is jump up and look out the window and I can see, and I see them drive by it, and then I have to make a determine what kind of logs they got and everything, but how they're stacked. And I can tell if they're overweight or not. We just, one of them recently was actually a milk truck, big milk truck, and the only reason that some of his tires were squatting, but he couldn't really make it up the hill faster than 20 miles an hour. Which was a big indicator that he's either got an engine trouble or he's got a very, very heavy load. And when it comes to liquids, I'm still getting used to the liquid aspect of it because every liquid is a different weight. But you'd think that with a liquid, their tank, it only can hold so much in the tank.
Yeah.
And you'd think, okay, well, they wouldn't design a truck to be, if the tank's so big that it wouldn't go overweight, but believe it or not, they do. So that was a good learning experience for me. But like I said, we just selected another individual from the sheriff's office to get some more weight training. The more eyes that I have out, the better. Luckily, Brian Kuhn and a couple other people at the road commission, if they see something out and about, just spotting them's basically half the issue. It's kind of like fishing; you just gotta wait, sit back and wait sometimes. But that new person should be going to training hopefully soon, get more eyes and ears out there and get them trained up on some of the weight aspects of it. I know we had a meeting a couple weeks ago reference the vehicle and basically the budget for us being able to get out there and enforce some of these weight laws. Also, I did look, reference that traffic control device for Lake Station in Lake. I looked in the clerk's office, they do not have a traffic control order for the speed being lowered in that area by the, park. I know there was a couple different park signs that had a yellow, what do they call it? Basically the thought process of what speed should go through there, kind of like
Recommendation.
the recommendation
yeah.
speed that's yellow.
Right.
So, but like I said, I haven't really seen a sign through there for 25 or 35 or anything like that. But I looked in the clerk's office and they don't have anything on file for that.
Thank you.
So, you guys have any other questions?
Are these trucks overweight, gross overweight, or just overweight per axle?
From what I've seen, probably 95% are all gross overweight. There are very few misloads. Unfortunately, because like I said, if it is that log truck, they're normally either so far over that they get kicked out, or they automatically go over their gross weight, which kicks them out of the misload.
Well, good report. Thank you, Steve.
What kind of feedback are you getting from Waste Management and Republic with their new, front, low end entry vehicles? That's been a problem ongoing.
The front loaders, obviously during frost laws, we're requesting that they do get the bigger size tires, which most of the drivers will tell you that they love it, because it rides better. It doesn't feel like it's going to tip over when they're turning. But we're still seeing it. They're still getting their permits. We are still stocking them, whether they have their permits or not, because I do want to see if they're following their permit, if they even have a permit. We've had a couple where they didn't even have a permit. There was a couple that I did stop in Clare City just because they're not required to have a permit in the city because the city doesn't require it. But just to give them an understanding of the weights that are cruising down the road on their side roads. I stopped one, it just so happens because I do live in the county, but they have to get through a city street to get to my road, and I'd see the truck all the time, no axles down, such and such. So I actually did end up stopping it and weighing it, and the city at the time, Al Jessup, he was kind of shocked when I showed him the weights. I mean, I'm talking 10,200 pounds over what they're allowed to have. And that's a lot. That's 10,200 pounds for that front axle, because obviously the bucket's down. They have weight. And you remember, every 10, 15 feet, that vehicle's slamming on its brakes, and that's more weight pushing down on the springs on the roadway, which ultimately is cracking the roadways. I'm not an engineer, but I think common sense would. They're not building these roads on the side roads as a freeway. I mean, they're putting down the asphalt that they have to get through there, but they actually ended up contacting, they use Waste Management. They ended up contacting them, and for the rest of the year, after I was able to show them that, they actually started using rear loaders on that in the city during frost laws, just for that mere fact. So I think it was a good education for them, but also it lets Waste Management know, and other garbage companies, unfortunately, that we are watching them. We are making sure they have their permits, and if they don't have their permits, it's kind of on them to go from there.
So when you talk about the permit, what kind of permit do they have to be 10,000 pounds over?
We would not be issuing a permit for 10,000 pounds over, because he didn't have a permit that he was 10,200 pounds over. He would have been, even if he had the permit, he still would have been overweight via the permit, which I say void the permit, but it doesn't void the permit. It just basically kicks the permit out to the side. I do the weight that he would legally be able to have up to that permit, because we're kind of working with them. So we basically give them up to what the permit would give them. That's how I would write the citation. Under normal circumstances, that basically kicks it'd be just like they don't have a permit whatsoever.
So,
but because we're trying to get the compliance, we give them the benefit of up to the
so the
permit.
question I would have, this truck you stopped, that was 10,000 pounds overweight on the front axle, was that truck loaded completely?
No, that was
So it would have been a lot more if he'd have been loaded.
A little bit less.
a little bit less. It's kind of weird how garbage trucks, the design of them, just to give you a little understanding of the garbage trucks, the way they're designed, I think it was in, I think it was in 1998 or
So they
something like that.
compact from the front to the back is what you're saying.
Correct.
So when you load up, they lighten
Right.
up.
When you're full, you got less range.
When they
Yeah.
when they leave the lot first thing in the morning, they're overweight.
They're heaviest.
And then
Oh, yeah.
as their load progresses, then it tilts the truck the other way, which takes it off the front. But they're still overweight, but not as bad when they first leave. So like I said, that's an engineering problem with the garbage companies, and that's why the state of Michigan for years automatically gave rubbish trucks a permit for state roads that we know you're overweight. We're going to give you this permit. We're going to give you until X date to basically get your trucks in compliance. After that date, nobody changed the engineering of their trucks, and that's kind of where we stuck it on everybody else to either take enforcement action or just wave at them as they go by to pick up your trash.
Trash has to go.
Trash has to get picked up. So, okay.
Is there any other questions?
Thank you.
for Steve? Okay, Steve, thank you very much. Bridge report, Mostetler,
Same.
it's still ongoing.
Yep.
So there's no report on that, that's ongoing. Project updates? Project update, pardon me?
Still working on Key, sand, they're hauling sand up there, they got one lane done, the eastbound side's done, and they're working on the westbound now. Or excuse me, I got that backwards, but
Yeah,
they're hauling sand up there and they got one side done, they're gonna work on the other side, and then they're gonna put some embankment in there. Clarence is being gravelled, we had to shut them off today just because of the rain, but we're scheduled for tomorrow, so we're hoping to have that all tomorrow, by tomorrow.
should have it on,
Yep. And then
depending on the weather now.
Yep, and they're gonna, Fishers has one job, and then they're gonna go to Adams after that, so they're gonna call it on Adams.
I thought that was Hub Train.
No, there's a change in plans on that,
Okay,
so,
so it's Fishers that's doing it.
yep.
Yeah.
Hupchers was gonna do it, and what happened was it was just kinda like an oversight. Hupchers was having a little issue with getting all of it made, but then there was also, Fishers came in with a low bid, and Fishers was gonna haul Hupchers anyways. Kind of a big process,
I
there's
see.
a lot to explain, but,
Mhm.
so Fishers is ended up gonna haul that, so they're working with us, they're gonna have that done, and Hupchers is gonna haul to Willow, that they did get that bid. So, and Willow should be done today or tomorrow with the ditching, so we'll be ready for gravel, we'll have that stake ready for that.
Well, I'm good then,
Yeah, so, I mean, they're coming along nicely, but,
we're getting things wrapped up.
yep, trying, yep. And then, AV over in Arthur Township, between Man Siding and Asher,
Arthur,
and that's being ditched right now as we speak, so.
Is it?
Yep.
It was a job that was needed for a while.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
We're going in the right direction with that, so.
Is there anything else?
Not for projects, no, other than some MDOT work that's being done, you guys have probably noticed, 115, they're doing some paving from Farwell to Lake Station Ave. So that's, they're gonna do that, and then they're gonna repair the shoulders, or fill the shoulders when they're done, so that'll be done. And then MDOT also did a repair on 61 out east towards Gladwin. There was a little sediment there, so they went in there and did a mill and fill. So they got that repaired too. Also on 127 northbound up by Town Line Road, Town Line Lake Road, they did a little milling project there. Yep. So, other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Good report.
I have something on projects.
Yes.
There will be 11 projects as of today that we can get billed out to the townships.
11 as of
9:30.
Oh, okay, they're gonna. Okay.
So we'll get those in obviously before the fiscal year for the townships.
Yeah, we'll get them billed out as of 9:30, so there'll be a
Oh, good.
receivable. Yep. so those will,
That'll make them happy.
yeah.
Well, yes, make us happy.
And then I actually, ironic as this is, billed out the last, some of you will remember, when we used to do special assessments.
Yeah,
Yesterday went out the last special assessment payment ever. No more special assessments. Surrey Township's the last one.
oh, yeah,
Hey, what road was that? Oh, I know where it is.
Uh-huh.
Also, while we're, not to interrupt you, but on that special assessment, if you ever drive out into Hillhaven on Silver Lake Road, Davis?
Silver Lake Drive.
Silver Lake Drive. It is a mess. It's always a mess. And I know the guys are out there working on it often, frequently grading it, but there's so much traffic that it just beats everybody to death, beats the road to death. Is there any way, or has that in the past ever been presented to the people out there for a special assessment? And they failed it?
it has, sometime back, yes.
I know there was talks about paving that entrance, but
The entrance, right, we talked about.
the entrance, I know we gravelled it 2 years back and ditched it.
Yeah.
We had
And
to
we
wait
made
for
some improvements.
gas lines to be lowered, just 'cause everything was really close to the top, but we did make some improvements on that. But I know there was talks of going in there, but it's so hard because there's so many rentals in there, the actual owner, to try to get a hold of the owners, you know what I mean? Of course, everybody that lives in there wants it done because, you know, they drive it every day, but as far as getting a hold of the person that pays the taxes and stuff, which would be the landowner.
Right, well,
Kind
2 or
of
3
getting
years
half a
ago,
lap of done.
it was 2 or 3 years ago when they turned that down.
Yeah.
Time goes fast, it might
Yeah.
be
I
5
know
years.
there was talks, but as far as where it went from there, I don't know.
And,
But there's so much traffic on it, doesn't matter what you do, unless you keep a truck out there, a grader out there all the time. But it just beats.
It's all sand too.
oh, yeah.
It's a sand hill, so your
But
chatter.
that's been a problem for as long as I can remember there, with that.
The only thing that I would,
Twice they tried for,
the only thing that I would remember is, one thing that had happened is because we're doing the special assessment work.
Yeah.
Or Steve, I guess I should say. Steve did all that assessment work.
Yeah.
And not the township.
right,
So what happened was, I would say there were 2 townships that didn't collect all the taxes. So we didn't get our full money back for those assessments. And I had read in the special assessment rules that technically is the township's job to do the assessments, not.
Well, that might be a nice talking point with Surrey Township in the future when we're over there, is to bring that up and see if there's any interest in doing a special
well, we can
assessment.
bring it up again,
Yeah.
and again, it's
We'll
been,
be heading that way pretty soon,
Right.
we can touch bases.
yeah,
And then that
Right.
way, we're not losing money.
right,
If they don't collect the taxes, then that's for them to settle, not us to not get full money back for the job that's done.
but some of the things that we've talked about at Surrey Township over the years, the residents that live there, just have been putting it down, they're not in
Mhm.
favor of paying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, let's move on. Is there anything else, Kim?
No,
On
no.
that particular thing? Building improvements, that's tabled for 21. And how about the boardroom auto? You got this?
Yep, you can take it off the list.
Look at that thing
Take
right
that
there.
off.
Look at it.
Okay, that's good. Let's go on to new business then. Act 51 budget.
Yep, so this is a requirement for the law that we have to, we adopted 20 last year, so we're amending. And again, the amendment is still a little bit of a guess because all of the bills and revenue are not in yet.
Nope.
So moreover, the bills.
That's always the case.
Yes, so basically the what we adopted obviously in 20 was already done.
Mm-hmm.
So we're amending the middle column and we're proposing the last column. Again,
See, now, okay, I gotcha.
the proposed last column obviously is a lot of guessing as well, just so you know. because we don't have approval for our federal aid projects yet. We don't know what the townships are gonna come back and say they want to do.
That's right.
So that may change a lot. Obviously, if you look at the first two columns under the revenue section, under county raised revenue, we had adopted 675,000, but what has come in so far is 1.3. So that doubled. You know, we got a lot more township, you know, participation than we had
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to the best of my ability, that is what I have for now. And obviously, this will be done next year, the same time. We'll amend the 20 or 21.
21, yeah.
And then propose 22. This is just something that has to be done every
You
year.
do it every year, yes.
Yes. So we do need a motion for that. We need two motions to accept the fiscal year 20 amended. If anybody would
I'll
like.
make a motion, we accept
I'll second.
20
Support.
fiscal year 20.
Support.
Yeah.
And then we will need a motion to accept the proposed 21.
Dwayne, you're good as the 21? I make the motion, we accept. Yeah.
Support. Okay.
Support.
Alrighty. Thank you, Kim.
And one thing, just a sideline. I know we talked here a few months ago how we're gonna have reduction in funds with all this COVID stuff. That's gonna certainly carry over to next year, isn't it? Of course,
Possibly.
I don't know. We don't know, do we?
Right.
Well, we do have, we're getting updates from the state of what our new revenues are gonna be, so we're preparing for that. So any updates that they give us, we're immediately changing in our budget and recognizing that immediately.
So you're transferring that information to real-time budget. So that's good.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
So when you guys approve the calendar year working budget, I immediately change that, and I will talk to Kayla about that to be sure she understands what I'm saying right now. So that she changes those numbers immediately as well. And then when she gets ready to do the 21 budget, where we look for that at, and then any changes that we get, she changes them as we go.
As you go.
So the working budget with those numbers are always changed.
Work in progress.
Sure. It's working. That's why they
It is
call
a
it a
working
working
budget,
budget.
exactly.
Has their numbers been as low as they predicted?
No,
I
I
didn't
don't
think
think so.
We just got a new update yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they seem higher than what I thought they would be.
That's all
Well, that's
good,
good
right?
news.
I mean, they were projecting
Yeah.
475, but it was down to 400. And then I see this.
I know.
It went up.
They got more money than they thought they had.
Yeah. From what the last adjustment I made, it was only a decrease of 8,000. So we didn't have to decrease too much. So whatever paper she has, we'll look at that and see if it's made much of a difference.
Okay, Waymaster's vehicle. We have what do we got to say about that?
So I talked to Lieutenant Bailey,
Yeah.
and this was previously discussed a while ago at one of our board meetings.
It was. I can remember that. Yeah.
So is what we came up with is if we could purchase. He found a new Tahoe to purchase for the $38,900,
Yeah.
and then he put together an equipment package that's an additional $18,000. So for under $60,000, we would purchase the vehicle and have it set up for a Waymaster vehicle, and then the sheriff's department would use it to patrol for our weighmaster.
Yeah,
And then at any time, whether it be in 3 years, maybe we get the vehicle back for our use, or at any time, but we would own the vehicle and then they would use it.
Is it gonna be proprietary to where it's only used for weighmaster work?
yeah. How
We
about that?
discussed having it set up that if they're patrolling for weighmaster and they have a emergency call, they would be able to use that vehicle for that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. What my
We talked
question
about
is
that,
I don't wanna spend 38,000 or 60,000, I guess, on a vehicle and then have it use 50% weighmaster, 50% sheriff's department. I'm into a cost share, but if it's proprietary where it's just a weighmaster vehicle, yes, as far as emergencies, whatever, that's easy enough. Who cares? But
Well,
Steven, you got,
is it gonna be used on patrol? That's my question.
They always are, aren't they?
Waymaster.
Steven, aren't they always used on patrol?
That would be up to you guys. I know we had discussed in the past, when I'm out on patrol, obviously the weighmaster or somebody who's certified in weighmaster would be the only one that would be driving the vehicle. It's one of those, like as of right now, we're still using a old Tahoe that I take my gear out of my normal car, put it in that vehicle, and when I'm working weighmaster, I drive around in that vehicle. The problem that we face is if I don't have the scales with me, I'm less likely to stop the vehicle because I think that they're a maybe. Because if I do, I don't have the scales with me, then I have to drive them all the way back to the road commission or have the motor carrier come up from, if he's in Isabella County, come up.
Make it easy. If you're out there patrolling, how much of the day is used as weighmaster? How much of the day is used as county sheriff's department?
As of right now, the way we're working it is when I'm working weighmaster, I'm for that 8 or 12 hours, I'm just on weighmaster. Obviously, if an emergency pops up, that I have to.
well,
But,
sure.
but the question
You're in the
comes
vehicle.
down to the new vehicle. We had kind of discussed in the event that the vehicle comes through, only the weighmaster be driving it. It would be used for regular patrol, but I would have the scales with me to do more spot checks and keep people more in compliance.
Who's in charge of maintenance on it, us or the department?
I believe that was us, I think.
That I'm not sure of.
Have you talked to Dwayne about it, Mijanowski?
I met with Dwayne and Steven
Yeah.
about this approach to setting up the weighmaster vehicle.
So we'll just have to figure out who's in charge of maintenance
And I believe the insurance they would cover.
They pay the insurance.
Yeah.
Because it's an emergency vehicle, it has to fall under our rider because it is an emergency vehicle.
Yeah.
You think the maintenance being covered by the sheriff's department would be a good offset to look at from the perspective of it? It's going to get used in non-weighmaster type situations.
Maintenance and fuel. How's that?
General maintenance and all that.
Yeah,
Fuel, insurance.
I would say any maintenance.
How many miles did you put
Yeah,
on
I
the
would say
weighmaster vehicle
any
last year?
Tires, brakes.
Well, they
With cross laws being short, I'm not sure. Normally on an average day of working 10-hour shifts normally, I would put normally about 150, 180 miles a shift.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, the car that I'm driving right now for regular patrol use, I got over a year and a half ago, and I got it with 1,600 miles on it. I think I'm at 24,000 right now, and that's for a year and a half. So like I said, there'd be miles put on it, but the nice thing is, like I said, I'll have the scales with me all the time, so I can actually do more spot checks, which inadvertently keeps people more in compliance because they know that we're out there.
Let me ask the question this way. When you're not designated for a shift of weighmaster patrol, will you be using the vehicle as your daily vehicle? Or will you have a sheriff department vehicle when you're not doing weighmaster patrol?
You have them now anyway, right? So.
Right. As of right now, I'm just using a regular patrol car.
Patrol.
But I don't have the scales with me, so I'm not stopping. I stop occasionally. I'll be able to see if it's grossly overweight, and I know it's going to be 100% overweight. then I'll stop it using the sheriff's department vehicle, and then just bring them down here.
Sounds to me like it's gonna be your daily driver.
That's what we had. That's what my
I
understanding is.
just wanna get to that point, so.
Right.
we know
Yeah.
I
what
think
we're
that's
talking
That's
about.
what my,
prior
because
to-
like I said, if we use it as the, like I said, only the person who is certified in Waymaster would be driving it. Yes, they would be driving it as their regular patrol car, but it gives you the ability to be able to make more stops on commercial vehicles and do spot checks, which will take, I mean, I can do a spot check in 10 minutes and get that vehicle back on the roadway if they're not overweight, because all I need is reasonable suspicion to believe that they're overweight. Stop them 10 minutes and then they're back on their way. And then if they're grossly overweight, then I would have the boards, I would have the scales to do a full weigh out, which takes about an hour, and then get them on the way, then having them drive all the way back to the road commission and find out they're not overweight, and then they're back on the
Well, they get that for a long time. They'd come back here.
way. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was approved when he first came here too, that the board wanted more of a visual out there.
Right,
With
as
him
you
using
say.
that
Well, that's
as
what we talked about.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
remember
working
something
out the
like
quirks
that.
in between.
Yeah, I would just say it as, from my perspective, at a minimum, that the sheriff's department needs to take care of all the maintenance, period. And
Well, they're
train,
using
so
it.
to speak, for the ability for it to be your daily driver.
And the vehicle would be marked, I think when, Lieutenant Bailey did the numbers and everything, it will be marked with sheriff's department, but it'll also put commercial motor vehicle
Yeah.
enforcement on it.
Correct.
Which again flies the flag to
Yep.
let people know
I like
we're
that.
out here looking for it.
So this vehicle, when we see this vehicle out there, we'll always have a certified weighmaster driving.
It'll be the only person that will be driving is certified weighmaster.
Okay.
Who's the other one they're training?
They're gonna be training, Deputy Bailey, Kelly Bailey.
Oh, Kelly.
Yep. So
make
I
a-
think she's got the
Now,
personality to be
She'll
able
be
to
good
do
at
it
it.
How
too.
long? What's the life of the vehicle that you'll have? How long will the sheriff's department have this vehicle?
That would be up to
That,
you.
that's up to us, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not
So
going to be a.
Drive it
I
till
mean,
it dies.
they could use it for 3 years. We get it back,
It's up
buy
to
a new
us,
one or
that's right.
something, and we could, because we have Al and Brian are certified weightmasters as well. So if we want, kind of gives us some options. But if things are going well and they want to keep it 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh, I see.
so.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I want to make a motion to buy that vehicle. Let's move on.
With
I'll second it.
with no parameters.
Dwayne's
Work
gonna
out
do
the
his
quirks.
best. I mean, it's in
It's
flux.
our first time buying.
And I don't want to get in the
so-
weeds on. who
Work,
purchases
I'll-
work it out, Dwayne.
I will work it out. Yes.
Yeah, Dwayne
So,
should work it out.
that's my-
And it's our first time purchasing one, so we're just gonna have to
Yeah.
work out the.
I will tell you that the vehicle is right now does have a
Okay.
hole in the
Whatever
floorboard,
we
so I
can
can see.
I will.
You know
But
how
you
we
check the
feel
roads
about it.
that way. Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'll support the motion.
Sport.
Sport.
Okay,
If I get stopped next week, you're in trouble.
all right, we'll move on. Unit number 3. We need a motion for 3 Lakes Creek culvert replacement.
So we have a culvert failing there, and we ordered the culvert. We have the Eagle permit in place. We have the culvert on site. We decided as a team that we don't really have the time and equipment right now
To do it.
with what we have going on. So Al got 2 quotes for just the construction of installing the culvert.
Oh, 2 quotes.
2 quotes. We recommend going with the lowest bidder of $19,000 to Wanzi.
19,000.
And that'll be for them to remove the old culvert and install the new one.
Make a motion.
When would that be done? Soon?
Yes.
As soon as we get it approved?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Made a motion to approve the quote.
I'll support.
Store
I'll
it.
support it.
Okay, microchip, vote to amend the pool bylaw. Have we got all those bylaws here?
Yep, they're right here.
That should
Oh,
be
yeah.
that
Oh, I
big
got 'em
basket.
now, yeah.
Okay.
Article 4. and then-
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah, we went through, went page after page after page on the little iPad reading it. I thought, wow. Yeah. Has anybody got any questions on it? Did you read it? You got it on your computer, didn't you?
I had it on my phone, it was hard to read.
Basically,
Well,
so I'll
yeah,
give
I
you a
read it.
basically nutshell
Yeah.
version. Basically what it's doing is allowing, what they are going to call us, members that were taken over by counties. So road
Yes.
commissions that were taken over by counties.
Yes.
They will allow them to come in as what they will call associate members. They're going to charge them a fee to be a member. They will not be able to have a vote like you as a board can. And they are not allowed to serve as a board member on their board. And then if they want to terminate them as an associate member, the termination of their department is a more simplified termination than us as a road commission.
So by termination, you mean if somebody, some entity, some county somewhere has an excessive amount of lawsuits, blah, 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 they can terminate? Why would they terminate a county?
I didn't read into the full length of the termination.
So it makes it easier for them to terminate.
Yeah, non-compliance or something.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's possible. I
That's
just
more or
read
less
this
what-
short little simple, because before, when county road commissions started getting taken over, I think the department that took them over thought they were gonna be able to stay in the pool. Well, the pool is for road commissions
Right.
only.
That's
And they're
good.
now not a road commission, they're a
Right.
different, municipality, so apparently they're now going to allow them, if each road commission board votes that way, but they've apparently put some very strict
I see they did.
things into place
Yeah.
with their attorneys as well.
Yeah.
So you can allow the bylaws to be changed, or you can vote no.
I make a motion, we allow the bylaws to be changed.
I vote no.
Okay.
Let the counties set up
That's
their
what
own
I'm
pool.
thinking
If
too.
they wanna run the roads,
After
let them
what we
set up
went
their own
through.
pool.
Well, I don't know. Well,
What they're afraid of here when I was reading it is that they're gonna, get involved in lawsuits and the decision that's made is gonna affect counties, is what they're
think
afraid
so?
of.
It's gonna affect the whole county
It's
instead of
gonna-
just the road commission.
Well, it's gonna affect all the county road commissions, and they're a separate entity.
Yep,
They're thinking they're setting a precedent.
but the decisions they make, if they're poor decisions, affect our rates.
Right.
And I'm saying, if they wanna run the road commission, have at it, run it. Get your own insurance. Why should we pay a higher rate because they're making poor decisions? That's my opinion. That's my no.
okay, he's no, I'm yes. Go ahead.
We didn't have a second.
You need a second.
Who did?
No,
haven't
I'll,
had
Yes.
a-
I'll second it, Dick.
Okay,
I'm still indecisive.
whatever.
Well, what they were
Tim's
saying,
case,
I know, it's just, I know just all the
I'm
garbage we
not
went
hearing
through,
Oh, I know.
and it's like.
what they're
I'm
saying
not-
is a case is gonna go to court. To one of these counties that has been taken over.
Mhm.
Right.
There's gonna be a decision made. It's gonna set a precedent against all counties, is what they're saying. So they want our insurance pool lawyers to be able to defend these people, so we don't end up with a case that costs us more money, is what
But
they're
when we
asking.
take these
Yeah,
people in, their poor
yeah,
decisions
yeah.
are gonna raise the taxpayers of Clare County's rates.
Well, yeah, but they're trying to say if we
What's the
can
term?
prevent them from making them poor decisions, is what they're saying.
What's
Well,
the
you know,
term
when
for
you
this
read
decision?
through that, it's pretty, it's a
It
little
has to
confusing.
be sent in.
By the 20th. I
20,
see.
yeah, you got another
Yeah.
So we
meeting.
got another month?
Yeah, we can think,
You
we
have
can,
not.
Let's
Yeah, we
table,
can-
can we
if you
table it?
want
I wanna
table
vote
it
Yeah,
into
for-
so you don't have
Yeah.
another
I don't feel
month, but
comfortable
you'd
just-
have
Well,
another.
we have another
board
meeting. Can we put it back on?
Put it on,
Of
for
course you
another
can.
meeting.
do your
Monday.
research.
I
and-
wanna read on
Yeah.
it.
'cause I read it last night, and that
Well,
was
I
what
did
they're,
You wanna withdraw your motion?
what they were
and
saying.
table
I
it?
understand
You
your
wanna
I'll
table
point.
it?
withdraw,
We'll say
we'll
do
table
that.
it till the next
That's it.
meeting.
And,
Because I
and
read the whole darn thing, and, you know, Actually, you gotta read it more than once.
Right, and
it's a.
and in the wording, it didn't say that they were gonna, they may charge them a fee. It didn't say they were gonna.
I know.
So there's-
So
it's-
there's, read it, do your research.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
let's-
does say there is a provision.
Yeah.
To charge a fee for services.
Uh-huh.
But it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
In the,
No,
in the
but
fine
there's a
print.
provision for that.
Can they will.
Yeah, and they will.
Well, let's just table it
Yeah.
until the
I'm
next meeting
comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
and, move on. That's fine.
You need a
Fine,
motion
num-
to table it?
Yes.
You're making a motion to
Yes.
table it?
Mhm.
I'll support.
I'll support.
Sport.
Okay. Dwayne, you had number 5 now?
Yeah, I talked to DJ. I paid a visit to Wexford County a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago and
Yeah.
saw some of their equipment they're using on the roads and some things that I think are going to be beneficial to us. So there's a couple small items I just would ask for approval to purchase. The first item is called a knucklehead. It's like
Enough of those.
it's about a 3 foot wide, kind of like a roto mill, and it mounts on the grader blade so they can run shoulders, and it
You bet.
breaks up the sod,
You
and
bet.
it kicks it into the grader blade where they can swipe it back out, and we can get rid of a lot of country curbs. Cost of that is $15,000.
You need a motion?
It'll pay for it. It'll pay for it.
You want a
No,
motion?
definitely.
He's got
Is there
one
more
more.
than one piece
Oh,
of
yeah,
equipment?
okay. We'll do them.
Okay, and then
Let's
the
do everything
second
we
second
do it all at
piece
once.
is a diamond cutter for the skid steer. It's a front end attachment, has a big saw blade looking with teeth on it, and it can cut a tree and mulch the tree up to, it's like a 1 foot diameter tree. And I saw that in action, and it's a one-man operation, and it took a 20-foot tree down in like 45 seconds. It was like amazing. So I
That's
think
a lot of
that we
manpower.
could keep that busy all winter and do a lot of
Well,
tree
that's good.
clearing.
How much was that?
21,000 brand new for that
The
attachment.
day that you guys came back from up there, I talked with you.
Yeah.
And you gave me a heads up on that. And it's good.
Yeah.
Let's,
I'll make the motion, we purchase both of them, or give whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you need.
Support. I'll second.
Okay.
Support.
Yep, I'm in.
comes with a lot of training, I hope.
No, that's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be-
one's a
that's gonna be
yeah.
good because we're behind on a lot of that. stuff,
Mhm.
you know. We're gonna save man hours, we're gonna save, it's gonna pay off, I think.
Mhm.
Well, keep the intersections safer too, the corners and whatnot.
Any other correspondence? No. Okay. Staff reports, you already gave a report, you went, you're
Yeah, I
up
pretty
next.
much covered everything I needed to cover.
Yeah,
Dave's got another township meeting today. What do
I'm
you got?
meeting with Hayes today.
go
Is that your
to
last one, Dave?
No, I have 2 more. I think I have Surrey, which I would like to bring up what we talked about.
The special
The Hill Haven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
And I have Reading. So
okay.
we met with Hamilton yesterday. So, yeah, those are going really good.
Well, good, well, that's a good thing, that's good because, you know,
Keep the communication lines open.
Yeah.
right,
Right,
and you're into it every day,
Mhm.
business, and you can answer their questions.
And you meet with them one-on-one, so you get
Yeah.
to know where they want to see their township go in the next 5 years. You know, it's,
Absolutely, and
you try to meet together in the middle somewhere. And it's a
communication,
good
that's the
thing.
whole,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing, and then, because, I know you do a lot of communications with the townships on, you know, you're always talking with them. And that's good,
No, they're going really well.
see. Over here,
Yes. I don't know if everybody has met Kayla.
Kayla,
So this is Kayla Randall. She is the new finance person. Have you met each and every person?
Everybody but Tim. I believe
Your mother's Lori, right? Lori
Yes.
Putz?
Lori, yeah,
I
used to be
grew up
Putz,
there.
yep.
I grew up with her.
She said she went to school with you.
Oh.
Did she tell you any
I'll get some stories for next meeting.
She'll probably also tell you that I didn't go very often.
There can't be a lot of stories, right?
There is a lot.
So now I put a now I know. who you
Welcome,
are.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
And Kim, this is it?
Today's the day.
Today's the day, yeah.
Well, thank you for your service
Thank you,
and,
guys.
Absolutely. We're gonna be missed.
sky's the limit, kid, keep going.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
And then we also, we have 3 additional new employees
Oh,
starting
really?
on Monday,
Full timers?
full time.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Do they have CDLs?
One does. One will be starting as a laborer on the crew Monday. Brandon.
Brandon.
He has a
who?
CDL. I don't know his last name.
Right.
Vite.
He was with us all summer, wasn't
Yeah.
He hired in as a temp this
Okay.
spring. He's
I
been
thought
with
it
us all
recognized
summer.
the name.
He accepted the position, and then Mandy will be engineering tech level 1, and Derek will be our grounds and building and
Otherwise
shop
known as
maintenance
Ish.
person.
You know who that is? Ish.
Who's that?
Ish.
He's been working in the shop.
He's been working in the shop. What,
Yeah.
long beard.
What, for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, he's been with us for a couple
Oh,
years.
yeah. That's okay. That's who that is. Okay.
So we got rid of our cleaning service. He's now in charge of
Yeah.
janitorial, grounds, shop, starting
Probably
Monday.
good idea.
So that saved us there. And then Mandy's helping us save on engineering costs. So,
Good deal.
and
That's
they all hired in under the new
Oh,
retirement plan.
under the new retirement. plan.
Yep.
Okay.
When you're done, I don't know if you're done yet, but
Yeah.
one question I had on that retirement, just a question, is that we hire somebody, just like you just did, and they work for 10 years, and we're paying this fee every month, whatever quarter to MERS.
Mm-hmm.
If they decide to go to another job in 10 years, and they have this money in MERS, do we still pay that fee for that retirement fund forever? Is it forever? Or does it terminate with their termination? Or
I understood it.
when they separate?
That should freeze up.
I think it would freeze
Can we
up,
find
but
that out for
yeah.
next meeting?
Do you know that?
Donna
Tom?
said it terminates.
Okay.
Now
It
just
matters if you go to another
That's what I
municipality
thought.
that
We
offers
talked
MERS
about
too.
They would have to
Yeah.
absorb it. But if they don't absorb it, then
Donna
Like,
said
I-
it terminates.
It terminates,
Yeah.
okay.
She's just
in the hallway.
She's
just
lurking
waiting.
in the
No,
hallway.
She's like,
Listening here.
She's
Listening
lurking.
here.
We need a camera in the hallway. Just for
okay. We're still on staff. Dwayne is. Go ahead with
I-
whatever you
I
have.
think things are going well, getting a lot done still. So we're trying to beat the weather.
Yeah, beat the weather.
So
Yeah, well, good. Usually, first couple of weeks of October, it gets kind of nice, but you never know what it's going
Right.
to do this year.
mhm.
But you're pretty much ahead on the things. You're keeping even.
We're keeping even at.
Good. Is there anything else?
No.
All right.
Before we move on, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Dick made a motion and I second it. Do we need to rescind that and let the minutes reflect that? Because we changed that.
Are you talking about?
He made the
He
motion to
withdrew
vote on
it.
the.
He was
He would.
Oh, did he rescind it?
Yeah, he
Okay,
withdrew
I
it.
didn't
Oh,
hear.
yeah,
I didn't
I
hear.
did. Oh, yeah.
Yep. It was kind of in
All right.
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
we withdrew it and then made the motion to put it on.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Thank
I
you.
missed that.
Tomorrow,
Two things.
two things, okay?
One is an FYI, Gary Sapansky from Harbor Drive in Lincoln Township, on that road end abandonment, he's trying to get the county to put something in writing that we have no interest in it. He will be at the meeting our next meeting next
Well,
week.
that's good.
Just so you know, I said it would be highly suggested if you just came to the meeting.
It'd be
so-
best for him, yes.
And so if we can have an answer, justify our answer at the next meeting, it's a little homework for you. And then, any further, communications with Jason Monmouth?
I saw something came in, I think
Read down
yesterday.
in the
Yeah.
hallway.
Okay.
Did she know?
It was
Oh.
just a couple questions the insurance company
Gotcha.
asked, and she
Oh.
just had to answer
Nothing's
them.
been settled or?
No.
No.
Okay, just wanted to keep that on the radar.
Right, right.
That's all I have.
Karen,
I'm good.
you're good?
Yep.
Okay.
Congratulations on becoming a new great grandpa.
Well, thank you very much. Again,
Yep.
appreciate that. The only, I went to, talk with Grant Township on Surrey Road, just east of the township hall. Are they putting in a driveway there, the oil company?
Oil wells
Oh,
going there.
they talked about that. I remember when
Yeah.
Dan
Well,
was
the
here
price of
quite a
oil,
while
the
ago.
price of
talking
oil
about
dropped.
I know.
And they
Yeah.
stopped. Now they're going back.
But I
So-
see they got road work signs. Are those our signs we put up, or
I
are
don't
they
think
doing?
so.
No,
They're
I
doing
think
it.
they're chartreuse
Yeah.
signs.
Yeah.
So they're,
So do they have a permit and everything?
I believe they did with Al, yeah.
Putting in a
It's
location.
all been
Yeah.
permitted?
Yeah.
Ben was quite concerned about, because it's on the curb.
Yep,
there.
Al dealt with that, so. he's got-
Pardon me?
Al dealt with that.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what so,
Yep, they applied for a permit and Al
Yeah.
told them what all they had to do and everything.
Speaking of that, did we do anything with the shoulders?
Not yet.
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried yesterday and failed.
Failed. What
So,
happened?
Stuff.
Stop. That's so
Don't want to talk about it.
Well, eventually I'd like to get a live bottom system, I think, in at least one or two trucks, because we tried to haul gravel yesterday, and when we dumped,
Kim just
it
snorted.
hit the belt or the
Yeah.
spreader, and it broke it. So
Oh, did it?
That's
Oh.
cross conveyor.
the cross conveyor broke, yeah.
Oh.
aren't they made for salt and not gravel?
Yeah.
Salt should be the same weight.
Good, Mark.
The gravel gets a little wet this time of year.
So anyway, that's the story.
So
Slow down, still around
we're
those
yeah,
curves.
we're trying.
Okay,
We'll figure something out.
okay, that's good. You got any more?
No, as soon as you said that, I was gonna mention
ahead.
that.
Happy as a clam.
You're happy? Bill?
Yep, I discussed an issue with Dwayne and Dave before the meeting about a place in Grant that needs, or Hayes that needs some work done, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I had.
Okay, that's very good. All right.
There's a stop ahead sign on Grant. I should have called it in, but anyway, right where the old railroad track comes to, there across the road from McGuire's. You can't, I don't know if it's a stop sign or the stop ahead, so you can't see that for nothing.
Okay.
It needs a chainsaw. That's not the sign with trees. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, okay.
Up in the stockyard?
Yeah, just south of the stockyards, on the other side of 10. You'd be just
Yeah.
right where the railroad tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. That railroad tracks, the old railroad tracks.
The old,
But you know,
the bike path.
talking about the railroad tracks, I tell you, that was just repaired not long ago, and that's a terrible mess there, bumpy on that.
Where?
On Grand Avenue, before you get to the stockyard,
What, north or south?
the railroad tracks.
It's north of Business Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking.
well,
I'm talking the
He's
south.
talking south. Are you talking north?
Oh, you're talking south.
I'm talking south.
Oh, okay.
Old 10.
Well, I'm
Old
talking
Tim.
north road.
That hasn't been repaired yet, though, Dick. Not between Fair Marquette and.
Well, it was
It
worked on
was
about
about-
2 years ago.
Not too long ago.
They stopped. I mean, it didn't even go to the tracks.
It was, we had it there.
Have to ask Al, cause he was in
Yeah, I
there.
asked Al about it, but anyway.
Anyway,
that is
there's
a bad-
tree brush there right in
it's
front of
bad.
the stop sign.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'd like to say good luck, Kim.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Me
Look
too.
at whatever you do. Appreciate all your info and knowledge.
Thank you.
I'll be calling you sometimes.
Kayla will be calling her.
We won't be strangers.
Okay.
Where's your next adventure taking?
Home.
I like it.
She's going home.
Good.
Sometimes that's a good thing.
I'm gonna stay home till spring and then
Yeah.
start looking again.
Well, Kim, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. You too.
You've done a nice job here.
And all of our adventures. I appreciate all of our adventures too, Dick.
Oh, thank you, that was good,
You
yeah.
could write a book.
Good with
I
you.
could
Yeah.
write a book.
Better be careful on the book.
On that note,
I
maybe
would
I'll
only
make
write that
a
book for you.
motion to adjourn.
Meeting's adjourned, thank you.
So there's no meeting next month then, the first?
Oh,
then?
Yes.
Yeah, there
We
is.
got a
There is.
meeting the first Wednesday.
Just an addition.
Next
This was
Wednesday.
an
So that'd be
additional.
next
Special.
Wednesday too.
Yeah.
See,